Let's move on to some Elon. Oh, wait,
yes.
Whoa. Come back here.
Whoa.
Here we go.
You are already sort of a cybernetic symbiote. Neural nets are taking over from regular programming. So you are connected.
You are connected. This is coming from the Washington Post. The headline, "In major reversal, Elon Musk won't join Twitter board after all."
Oh, the emotional roller coaster that is Elon. I can't keep up.
I didn't even know that this was an option, so it was nice to learn after it was too late. Elon Musk is not joining Twitter's board after all, a reversal following last week's revelation that he had become Twitter's largest shareholder and had received a subsequent appointment to the panel. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal tweeted the news Sunday night, including a memo sent to his staff. Quote, "Elon's appointment to the board was to become officially effective on April 9th, but Elon shared that same morning he will no longer be joining the board," Agrawal wrote. "I believe this is for the best." Cool.
Thanks, Elon.
It's not even the "I believe this is for the best" was from the CEO. Yeah, I bet you do think this is for the best because Elon was just going to cause trouble for you and your bad platform. The surprise move came less than a week after Twitter had said the outspoken Tesla CEO would become a board member after he amassed a more than 9% stake in the social media company. But Twitter employees and others were agitated over the move, worrying Musk might wield outsized power to undo some moderation decisions that were made, including banning former President Donald Trump. Agrawal said the company will remain open to Musk's input, but he added, quote, "The decisions we make and how we execute is in our hands, no one else's." And he urged staff to tune out distractions. Yes, spoken like a true cult leader. Twitter said it would not comment Monday beyond Agrawal's statement. Musk did not respond to a request for comment. He tweeted an emoji of a face with its hand over its mouth shortly after the news broke. That tweet appeared to have been deleted Monday, along with several others related to Twitter that followed his investment. Musk also liked a tweet reply to Twitter CEO that opined on how Musk's departure unfolded. Departure, okay, theorizing that Musk was told, quote, to play nice and not speak freely, despite his push for what he regarded as free speech. A financial filing by Musk on Monday reflected that he would not be joining the board and included language saying he would be free to, quote, express his views on social media about Twitter's business, products, and services to the board and management. The new filing said Musk held a 9.1% stake in Twitter, which is enormous. Sunday's announcement capped off an extraordinary and rapid series of events that began weeks ago when Agrawal said he first engaged with Musk in talks to join Twitter's board. Agrawal last week welcomed Musk, who he called a passionate believer in intense critic to Twitter, rather than fight off an infiltration from an outside activist. Musk had only months earlier tweeted a meme superimposing the Twitter CEO's face over that of a Soviet dictator, Joseph Stalin. Yeah, you gotta squash some beef after some moves like that.
That would be like, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to necessarily make any analogies, but I don't know. What do you think about this whole thing with Elon and Twitter? We did sort of quasi-report it. We didn't really dig too deep into it, but
it broke at the end of one of our episodes. Well, there's. Let me read this part. Mush initially filed to become a passive investor in Twitter, documents revealed, but the next day paperwork was filed that would alter his status to become a board member. So that kind of answered our questions as far as like,
right. What kind
it seemed like he was going to be more of a passive guy. I mean, there's a difference when you buy that much of a company. You're not like suddenly the boss all of a sudden. It's all in the paperwork, baby. But I have a hard time believing that he's just disengaging. I think, obviously, he's a danger to the status quo of Twitter. I'm not saying he's some sort of hero of free speech or anything, but he's a rascal. He's a known rascal who's not afraid to get attention. Now, overall, is he like fighting for freedom all the time? No, he does it when it is good for his brand. I mean, his dealings with China, the least free speech, place in the world,
yes,
has been well documented, and is its own critique of his sort of persona. I think some sort of deal happened. I think somebody came to an agreement, and I think he wanted something that maybe we don't know about, and the threat was, I will join the board if you don't give me what I want. There also may have been paperwork of like, hey, you're on the board, you can't say anything bad about Twitter anymore, like some sort of agreement in the paperwork. Mm-hmm. And he might be like, well, I want to do that. I don't know.
So, yeah. I don't know. It seems like in the long term, Elon wants. He's kind of like Trump. You know how Trump played the freedom card or like the restoration of America. He's riding that same wave of like American freedom and national, not exactly like super nationalism per se, but just this idea of a more sovereign type of situation. But you're right. His ties to China and everything else are very interesting. I just want to drop this because I don't know where else to really mention it. There's a project out there called Xi Protocol, XI, like Xi Jinping. Mm-hmm. And it is a protocol that it's like a Web3 thing. You can purchase the tokens and stake it and whatever. It's a crypto project. But here's the deal. They have a partnership with a thing called the Geometric Energy Corporation, GEM, and they are basically going to have a partnership with Doge 1, the mission to the moon. So you know how SpaceX is launching the Doge mission or whatever later this year?
Yeah.
So through this G protocol, you can actually have a display on the rocket ship of whatever, like your NFT or your advertise, whatever it is, can be on.
He was doing the advertisements in space.
Right. Yeah, that whole deal. And it's called G Protocol. Why is it G Protocol? Like Xi Jinping? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's G is also in the Greek alphabet, but it's more fun to talk about China.
Yeah. Well, it is actually a Greek company that's doing the whole thing, but
like actually in Greece, it's a Grecian company.
Yeah, I think some Greek people. Yeah, but they do have a deal with SpaceX. They are part of like if you invest in this thing and do all the stuff that the technical things you can have. Like we can have our Canary Cry logo or like one of our producers' art or something on display on the spaceship, and then somebody can see it and go to CanaryCry.Party.
The aliens. So the aliens can do it. This article ends with this very interesting detail.
Yeah.
Musk's board appointment limited his stake in the company at 14.9%, meaning if he was on the board, he cannot own more than 14.9% of the company. Ooh. Now that he will not have a board seat,
he's trying to take it all over.
He is free to continue to invest beyond that figure. Those limits are put in place to make sure that board members don't have more power than one another. That is sort of as equal of a board situation as you can, or at least you limit, how powerful any one board member can get. But without that, I mean, he could just keep buying it. Like I purchased the whole thing eventually.
I think he wants to take over Twitter literally and to connect it to the whole SpaceX infrastructure and have it be the social media platform of the future of his future energy infrastructure.
Yeah, because he's so involved. I mean, I would never claim to have any good guess as to what he's thinking, because he's probably actually just some sort of robot that is controlled by an off-world hive mind that has more cognitive power than we could imagine. But it does. I mean, it's obviously a play. You don't know what the play is really, but it's a play. And the fact that he's the spaceman, he's the electric vehicle man, he's the tunnel guy, he's the flamethrower guy.
Man. He's the Antichrist.
He's getting everything, and communication is a very powerful industry for him to have some control over.